One of the questions asked by these fellows here is, why do you want to run for Attorney General? And I'm going to try to be very brief and very concise with that and convey, if I can, just a few of the thoughts that led me to make the decision. I think the first one is that after leaving the Auditor General's office and working for many years as a lawyer, I've developed a civil rights practice and have acquired more and more knowledge about the things that affect us all as citizens. And while doing that, I just simply became extremely disappointed in the quality of justice, if you will, that exists not just in Pennsylvania but throughout our entire country. Now, what does the quality of justice mean? Well, it means that when someone goes to court, that they get a fair and honest opportunity to present their point of view. No one can guarantee the outcome of a court proceeding. Our courts are run by individuals. They're run by judges, human beings, not gods, human beings. Human beings that are frail and make mistakes and have boundaries on their powers and how they're to supply that power. All of us put judges on a pedestal. All of us typically put prosecutors on a pedestal. All of us look up to the police. In my civil practice, I ended up being an attorney who represented many, many police officers, particularly in First Amendment claims. I ended up in the courtroom suing public officials who violated those police officers' rights. I ended up representing people that are average citizens who had something to say somewhere and were denied their opportunity to speak out. In almost all of the kinds of cases that I did, I ended up suing public officials because we're one of the few and probably the most developed country on the earth that says to the American citizen, you can sue an official when that official violates your rights. Most of us as Americans don't know where that came from. And it comes from the Bill of Rights and the ratification process for the amendments to the Bill of Rights that grew out of our revolution. We were a country that was expressing opposition and defiance to abuse from above. We didn't start this nation. We didn't bleed through a civil war. We didn't bleed through world wars and Vietnam and Korea and Iraq in order to let people in despotic, powerful positions above control what we say and what we think. If we come to our country and substitute the judiciary for that emplaced oligarchy that ruled the world when our country began because they owned all of the property, something we seem to be returning to, ironically, in our country today, then we've accomplished nothing. And we're mocking the sacrifices of the soldiers and the people and the families and the moms and the dads who have sacrificed to make this country what it is, which is a beacon of freedom and an example of procedural democracy. In a nutshell, the first thing that began to offend me terribly when I was a civil rights lawyer fighting for people's rights were concerns about a fair day in court. I came out of that practice with the perception, and I publicly stated here today, we are badly in need of judicial reform. We cannot trust our courts in many cases to be honest, to be open, and to be fair. Does that mean they're money-grabbing thieves? No, I don't think in most cases they are. Does it mean that they're abusing their official power? Yes. Does it mean we have to do something about that? Yes. And when I looked around me to see what could be done about it, I found that prosecutors, by and large, are appointed. They're appointed because they have political wishes. All they want to do is run to become a judge in a court of common pleas, put some nice money away and get a good retirement. They become part of a good old boy system, going to lunch with a nice big law firm. It is a structure. It's a structure that does not deliver a fair hearing to American citizens, in my view.